Obviously, so at the beginning of the show, I walk on the stage and I have my little run around. I do a few knees bends, touch my toes, do all the bits and bobs. You know, you've seen all that. Come on over here. The garden centre is still not elevated, but that goes out of the way, so I can do my arm swings and just get everything kind of warmed up. Come in here, make sure the cross is, yes, charged up. Hey, cross is charged. 2 swords. Cover up the microphone. So they can't hear you go.
Hello.
Okay. Obviously I've got my bits and bobs here. All I have is water and coffee. As I said, most of the time I don't even drink the coffee. I just smell the coffee. The water, for anybody who's interested, is always warm. I mean, literally, I mean, not chilled. It's actually physically warm. So that sort of helps the rehydration, also helps the throat and stuff like that. It's cold water, enemy of all things singing. Towels and tissues, because I get very snotty when I sing properly and all stuff to blow my nose a lot. Earplugs, which are just not sophisticated. There it is. There's the other one. Earplugs going in. Make sure they're in nice and deep. 35 dB earplugs, and that's me. Now Tash has got all the bits and bobs. I've got my TNT plunger box there that nips up. All her wardrobe is at the back at the moment for all the costume changes. Obviously I don't have one for the very first 3 songs. Running around, nip off, drink water. I go through about between 1.5 litres and 2 litres of water that I actually drink during the show. I know she's getting snotty because I'm singing right. And I lose about 3 to 3.5 litres during a show. So I'm about 1 litre in deficit by the time I get back to the hotel, so I'll put that on. Next big change is, well, it's not really a big change. Come back, Tash wax on the kind of like storytelling cloak, whatever I call that storytelling cloak. The wonderful Tasha, without whom I would be naked. This is actually the coat from Rime of the Ancient Mariner. It's the storytelling thing from Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Nothing goes to waste. Actually comes off towards the end of it. There's also a swap because I use the mic stand and a different microphone, so come back, mic goes out the front. I put my mic there, and then that's ready for me when I do the little chat without the cloak at the beginning of Blood Brothers. So we do Blood Brothers, I swap over the microphones 2/3 of the way through Blood Brothers, so I'm back to the original hand mic. So yeah, so that's the Blood Brothers moment. After Blood Brothers, we're into the first big change of the night, which is the sign of the cross. So that's when we have the cross, and it's fairly heavy. Got a mic stand on the back of it, so the mic clips in there, so I've got 2 hands free, and there's a little switch there that activates the voice of God, and it's full of batteries and LEDs. So that cross goes out with me, and I put is actually the cape from Dance of Death. We cut the hem of it a little bit. It has its own hazards, tripping up being one of them. So I go on, the crew put the kind of the receptacle for the cross at the front of the stage. It's velcroed there, and they also put it up the top as well. So I go in, I do sign of the cross, have my twirl on stage, come back, mic's in the back there, I've done my whoa to the audience, come back, that goes bang, and then we go with the flamethrower. So what that is, it's actually a webbing belt which goes around here, and 2 homemade webbing straps, and the flamethrower goes on the back. I don't know what it weighs. I'm going to guess 15 kilos, something like that. So about 30 pounds. So I've got 30-pound flamethrower on. I've got a little loop that the microphone fits in as well if I need 2 hands free. Then the cape goes back on, and then I go back up the stairs with 35-pound flamethrower cross. Yeah, who thought this one up then? And the thing, and I've got the hoodie down so people can't see, and neither can I. And of course, there's lots of stuff hanging around here. So if you lose your balance or if you get caught here, it's a bit tricky. Once I get at the top, the cross goes in the middle, and I go and do the last bits, and I'm basically singing with the mic in situ here like this. Put the cowl over. I used to do it with the cowl off. I think I've started doing it so it was a bit more spooky so they don't see it right till the very last couple of notes. And then as it goes to a blackout, I'm looking behind me at the Icarus going up. I have to get rid of the cape, and you have to really make sure it goes, because it's gotten stuck on the flamethrower a few times, and that's really embarrassing. So what I do to cover it up, to cover up the Icarus going up, I distract the audience by doing that until the Icarus is up. Then Nick can see it's up, and then I switch off the cross. I've got one flamethrower out, and the mic is in its little receptacle. That comes out, whoosh, and then we're off into Flight of Icarus. I can use two-fisted stuff because I can put the mic in there, juggle with it, Clint Eastwood style. Sometimes I'll get a few burns on the hand because the thing won't go out. So you have to do sort of, you do the Dirty Harry thing, is all like that, to get rid of it. But so anyway, the cross then stays there because at the end of Icarus, I'm straight down the steps and probably into the most manic change of the evening. So I walk down here, and literally it's microphone bang, off with the belt, off with the flamethrower pack. Shirt comes off, next shirt goes on comes the coat. At which point I can hear Nico going. I'm like, stop, not yet. Then, while I'm blowing my nose and getting all snotty, having a drink of water, Tash is taking the man bun off and letting the hair down. Then I put the pest mask on. On goes the bowler hat, make sure it's the right way round. And then microphone, off we go. I am a man with a lantern. I'm a man who walks alone. So then we're doing all that. I'm in the white shirt then, come down, at the end of it, off goes the coat, the hat and everything. I've taken the pest mask off halfway through. That was Rod's suggestion early on in the tour, and it kind of works because I can make my hair go mad and look like Dr. Jekyll, like Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde. With the hair coming out the bottom, especially with the green light, going, like that. Here's the beginning of part 2, in which I describe to you the strange world that I live in this sort of like funny little hobbit world behind the stage, which is all dark and dingy and things like that, with like plastic capes and flamethrowers and I don't know, I've forgotten now. I don't like warming up, you know, in front of people because you pull your face into all kinds of funny contortions and people think you're a mad person. So I tend to just, in between songs, nip backstage, sit there and I've got a towel. I'm trying to get my breathing down, trying to get my heart rate down, and I'm trying to relax. And I'm trying to, well, just effectively relax the muscles of my throat. So they're not like, oh, and there's like, you know, instead. So I can feel the space at the back of my head, so I can hit the notes with more ease and more relaxed. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to calm down. You know, what's coming next? I'm waiting in my cold cell. Not, I'm waiting in my... No, I'm waiting in my cold cell. Yeah, that's, you need to be relaxed. Because that's how, when you're relaxed, is well, boom, that's when it's going to really kick in with that power. So that's what I'm doing. So then we go and we are into Hallowed. So Hallowed, the bars go up, and actually I've got a bit more time because Nico does wait until the bars are up there before he starts the song. All I do for Hallowed is whoosh the hair back a bit, roll up the sleeves, and I tuck the shirt in deliberately so it looks a bit more kind of 18th century, if you like. You are the prisoner in the, you know, in the tower, Frenchified type tower, I assume. Yeah, and then that's that one. That's just it. Obviously, the noose comes down as well. We've had a few noose malfunctions. Like it's on a solenoid, so right at the end of the show, you know, drops like that. Except some nights it didn't, only a couple of nights, you know. And one night I had to come out and just give it a good like, boom, like that. It came down and nearly knocked me senseless. It's a bloody heavy piece of rope, whack, ow. So you've got that happening for there at the end of that song. Then basically straight back down. Next one's really easy, on goes the leather jacket. And it's Number of the Beast. And that's very reminiscent of, obviously, what we were wearing when we originally did the Number of the Beast tour. We were all wearing leather jackets, so that's why I got the leather jacket. Then we just stay that way for Iron Maiden, come off, and then you're into the next change, which is Trooper jacket goes on. Make sure you have the right sword. One of them is bendy, one of them is not. If you hit Eddie with a bendy sword, it will bend in half and look shit. Being attacked by a fucking giant blob. The other one is the one for the Klansman, which is actually quite soft and bendy. So up we go, grab the sword. Gary gives me the trooper flag, passes it to me, warm, warm, warm. Leave the sword there, do the singy bit. Eddie comes on, drop that, pick up the sword, run round the side, jump down off the side. Do the fight, come back round, run back up, blowing fairly hard, I have to say, at that point as I'm going up the steps. You know, I'm like trying to get the heart rate down. The flag of the country that we're in is already pre-positioned over the other side, and that's got the charge on the end of it. I have to arm that in order to shoot it. Eddie obviously has got his exploding thing where he gets shot. So we do that, trooper, go up there, last verse, then I chuck this one flag off stage out the back, and one of our crew very kindly catches it for me. Then we're off comes the trooper jacket, and I get a few seconds while they start the Klansman. The Klansman is just pick up the sword. The bendy sword, the blood-stained bendy sword, the claymore. And then run to the hills. I just untuck my shirt. I don't know why, but I do. It's like shirt hanging out my arse. There you go. For Run to the Hills. And then we get the TNT gag at the end where I blow myself up. That all started by accident. So early on in one of the shows, Keith let off a pyro as I was standing over the top of it. And it made me jump. You know, I was like, whoa, like that. Anyway, it gave me I asked him afterwards, I went, Keith, about the pyro. He goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He said, no. Was it funny? And he said, well, no, seriously, was it funny? He said, come on, own up. He went, yeah, it was kind of funny. It did look funny. I went, right, good. Let's have a series of them like Wile E. Coyote blowing me up around the stage, and then we'll have a big Wile E. Coyote TNT plunge and we'll blow up the bloody stage at the end. And that's how it started, you know, from happy accidents that happen. So that's that one, and then we blow up the stage at the end, and then finally we're into Spitfire coming up, put on the RAF jacket, on goes the helmet, which again has changed in the last 15 shows, because when we did Sioux Falls, a really nice lady gave us all these like puffer jackets that she'd made herself, except me, I got a flying hat with a pair of like goggly shades. And this looks so cool. I went, you know what, I'll use that instead of the one I've been using. So that's the one I'm using now for the moment. So that was actually made by a fan. So I go out, not much more to say about that, because the Spitfire is the star of the show, not us, you know. And then that's it. And normally when we do like the Elvis out, I mean, I just have a t-shirt, pair of shoes and a pair of shorts, and I'm back here and all the stage clothes are off, and I walk off in shorts, trainers and a t-shirt with a towel around me, and a bottle of warm water. That's it. Has it come to this? You know, and that's it. And that's that. That's it. That's the Legacy of the Beast tour through the vocalist's keyhole.